Hi guys,
Hi.
welcome back to a new vlog. We owe you an update on our search for a house in Spain, but to be honest, it took me a while to edit this vlog because the truth is
Spoiler alert.
we didn't find a house. It was a great journey, but it also took a lot of energy. But here it finally is, especially for you, an extra long video about our search for a house in Spain and in Italy. So here we go. Hope you guys like it. This map shows the route of our first quest in Spain and the regions we visited. The plan now is to return to the south of Spain and continue our search. But after the busy months in the Netherlands, we will start with a stopover in Belgium. We wanted to get started right away, but we also had a lot of things to organize in the Defender. Some extra supplies to buy, and of course trying out our new gadgets. After a tough battle with my screwdriver, we were ready to move on. We spent the night in this motel in the south of France, and the next day we drove into Spain. At our first gas stop in Spain, this little guy was waiting for us at the door. And you can call me crazy, but I believe that this wagtail is my spirit animal. Because from the moment we decided to sell our house and quit our jobs, the wagtail literally appears on my path every time we experience some kind of doubts about the direction we are going and tells us we are on the right track. At least that is what I believe. So after this little boost, we continue to the Valencia area.
Change the scene, change in tide, take the twists and share the side.
There, we meet our friends Chris and Carola, and we spend a few nights in the region, and we did some household tasks before we continue on to just before Seville. We still think that Seville is one of the most beautiful cities, and that is why we planned a pre-Christmas week with Yes, Your Parents. But we still managed to surprise them at the airport. We had a wonderful week together. We enjoyed the warm sun during the day and visited the highlights of Seville. In the evening, we went out to experience all the Christmas lights in the city and had some really nice tapas. The days flew by, and before we knew it, our search really began. We were curious about an area south of Ronda, so we rented an Airbnb in the town of Gauchi. A big advantage of our Defender, we can more easily switch to renting a house instead of being tied to winter campsites. These campsites are very busy with tourists, and we believe that this way we can discover the local life better. Cochin is beautifully situated in the hills. Fantastic for a holiday, but for us, it feels a bit too remote to live there. But nevertheless, we enjoy the peace and quiet here, and we are still very enthusiastic about the town of Ronda. And we also used this time to try out the rooftop tent for the first time. It took a little getting used to, but ultimately it was even better than sleeping in a bed. Christmas arrived and we decided to celebrate it together on our own hill. We had our own wine tasting and of course, we had way too much food. We ended the evening with a campfire and some Christmas movies. To celebrate New Year's Eve, we decided to go to the city of Malaga for 2 days. All the restaurants were fully booked, so we went out for some local churros, some tapas, and we had a pastry for dinner. Malaga is also beautiful, decorated with Christmas lights. New Year's Eve wasn't quite what we were used to in the Netherlands, but we still had a blast.
Ja.
Okay. On the first day of the year, we immediately drove to a house near Malaga that we had found on Idealista and we wanted to check it out on ourselves. A property with 20,000 square meters, but we quickly discovered that the house is pretty remote and the land is barely usable because it's built on a hill. Too often we encounter the poor accessibility of a house or its steep location in this area. But we are not easily discouraged, so we move on to the center of Spain, a 6-hour drive to a little village called Candeleda. And the road to get there is promising. Here we rented this cute little house. We discovered the beautiful surroundings and experienced golden nights and wonderful sunshine during the day. Exactly how we like it. But it's also very quiet and the first larger town is more than an hour away. But if we like this vibe and surroundings, are we still looking in the right country then? The Hopu shows up and comes to tell us that it's time for a new turn. We decide to expand our search area to Italy. And Jess is also ready for the next jump. But first we have a few more weeks left here, so we enjoy the simple yet wonderful Spanish life. We leave Candeleda behind us and begin our 1500 kilometer journey to Italy. Because it's quite a long journey, we plan a few stops along the way in the cities of Madrid and Zaragoza.
en cero, pero ella estamos 100. Esta noche no olvidamos de lo malo, porque if you feeling good, I'm feeling great. Todo el corillo estamos bien, yeah, estamos bien, oh, estamos bien. Esta noche no olvidamos de lo malo, porque if you feeling good, I'm feeling great. Todo el corillo estamos bien. Vámonos, que el party no comienza hasta que llegue yo. Y cuando salga el sol nos despedimos. Momento divino, a pasarla bien porque a gozar es que se vino. If you feeling good, I'm feeling great. El corillo estamos bien. Las cuentas están en cero, pero ella estamos 100. Esta noche no olvidamos de lo malo, porque if you feeling good, I'm feeling great. El corillo estamos bien.
We also spent the night in France before reaching Italy. Tomorrow?
We're going to Italy!
We can talk about the weather. We can talk about what they play on TV. As long as we're together. Darling, you and I could talk of anything. So I just wanna hear your voice. I just wanna say your name. 'Cause the thought of you has got me spinning. Say the word and I'll be over in a minute. We could talk about the weather. We could talk about anything under the sun. Long as we're together. Darling, I know I'm not the only one. So I just wanna hear your voice. I just wanna say your name. 'Cause the thought of you has got me spinning. Say the word and I'll be over in a minute. We could talk about the weather.
We zijn in Italië.
Oh, daar!
We leave the highway and head to the coast to get a first impression of Italy. Ja, waar zijn we?
Italië!
Where's the happiness? Who could say all our sunshine's gone away? In these conditions, I'm afraid to stay. Yes, I'm afraid to go, but now we won't get there that way. Take my hand, I still believe. We'll walk by faith when we can't see the whole wide world.
After a good hour of soaking up all those new impressions, we call it a day and we make a stop at the gas station. Hey, and look who is there waiting for us.
Rather take our chances than be left for dead. I know it feels like our best days have fled, but I'd like to think there are still some out ahead.
We drive away from the coast towards the town of Mondone, our first stop in Italy.
When we can't see the whole wide world, so then we stand.
First impressions of Italy are great, but we also have a lot of questions like,
Krijgen wij een slice voor 7 euro of krijg ik een hele pizza?
The next day, we arrive in Alba, the capital of the Piedmont province. We'll be staying here for the next few weeks and explore the region from here. We had already seen enough to reach out to some real estate agents. Hoeveel dagen zijn we er al? We found out that the Dutch-speaking real estate agents were all very busy and didn't have time for us. So for now we are focusing on finding our way in this new country.
Bistecca 500 grammi.
We continue to wait, but in the meantime we also apply for our Italian citizen service number. And we received it already the next day. And then finally we get a call back from a real estate agent. He asks if we have time to view a couple of houses the next day. So let's go.
Hold tight, don't let go. You gotta keep trying. You're this close, said it's alright. You can take it slow. Keep your head up high and let each door open wide. It's worth more when you know you've tried. Don't give up. Don't give up. Show 'em what you're made of. Don't give up. And show 'em what you're made of. One shot is all you need. Yeah, you've got
For us, this was a totally new experience, completely different than viewing houses in Spain. But our house wasn't among them yet. But the same day we drove past another house that we had found ourselves. This is pretty much what we are looking for. But unfortunate, it was already sold a few days before. Our energy is running out, but we're not giving up yet. And we find another property with a lot of potential. It's a house near the Alps. But first, we celebrate Jesser's birthday in Turin.
Confused, lonely mess on this journey of life. Figure out the rest, maybe one day I'll find a way. I'll embrace my mistakes, cause after all, I think that's my humanity. I know I'm not alone, but my thoughts could argue otherwise. Too glued to my phone, dopamine receptors compromised. But I can dig myself out of this hole that I desire. I still love my faults, they make me human. Even when my thoughts, they try to ruin me. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, in my head too much like. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. Allergic to commitment, that's why I just stopped my therapy. But that shit was so expensive, if I had the money, would I be a better me? I got so much on my plate that I feel like I am best friends with gluttony. I still love my faults, they make me human. Even when my thoughts, they try to ruin me. But I said, hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, in my head too much like. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. And I said, hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, in my head too much like. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up. Whoa, oh, oh, ooh.
So we are very excited about this house, and especially the location. I mean, the view is amazing.
My thoughts, they try to ruin. I still love my thoughts, they make me human. Even when my thoughts, they try to ruin. They try to ruin me.
We went back a couple of times, and the more often we visited, the more we realized that the condition of the house is really poor.
I'm a little messed up, in my head too much like. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. And I said, hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, in my head too much like. Hey, so I'm a little messed up, I'm a little messed up, I'm a little fucked up. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh.
We so badly want to make this work, but our gut feeling tells us not to do it. And so we listen to that. Our time in Italy was great, but a house doesn't seem to be in the cards for us right now.
Spent so many nights searching the world for a place I can call my own. But I don't believe in letting go. No, bring on the good times, let the light shine. I've got so much left to do. Wide open skyline.
2 years ago we gave up everything to live a free life. What if we already have everything to live that free life?
Bring on the good times, let the light shine. I've got so much.
For now we're going back to the Netherlands to spend the summer. Our plan after that? Time will tell.